What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and today I'm back to talk about Warhammer 40k. In this one, we have another book excerpt from Betrayer that puts Leman Russ and Angron at odds. Angron is one of my favorite Primarchs. He is basically just exuding anger, hatred, and a bloodlust, and that's all his character pretty much is on the surface level. But if you really read into the novels, read into this character, you can see that he's hurting much more than he lets on. And that's 0%, because he is killing all of his Astartes. He is on a path for destruction with no breaks, and that is why he easily falls into the hands of Khorne. We recently did a book analysis on the... We recently did a book analysis on the Primarch novel for Angron over on our other channel. I'll put the link in the description if you guys want to check that out. But we see that Angron has always been a slave his entire life. A slave to the world where he was forced to be a gladiator, a slave to the Imperium and his father, and now he is a slave to Khorne, the god of chaos, and he has no means of escape. So, seeing all this going on, one of his brothers, Leman Russ, is trying to force his ideologies on him to get him to understand that Primarchs are not gladiators, they're not warriors. They were meant to be a tool for the Imperium, and that is to be a general, to lead their armies, to unify all human worlds and create the Imperium that the Emperor wanted. "Do you see?" he said. "No." He barked it not like a simple beast, but with human passion backed by canine ferocity. Conviction burned in his eyes, the same instinctive viciousness of a dog defending its family. "Look, damn you, look around you. Do you not see what it is you've done to your sons?" At the battle's core, senses pierced Angron's aching sight long enough to leave him speechless. The axe in his hand lowered, and he looked out at the ranks of wolves facing him with their bolters raised. They came in ragged packs, abandoning the warfare to form a ring around the Primarchs. Wolf after wolf, close enough to Angron to make out the individual totems and talismans rattling against their storm grey armor, moving to stand in ragged ranks with their brothers. One of them, a tribal leader of some kind, stood out by the elaborate blue pack markings over his faceplate. "It's over, Lord Angron," he said. "Russ." Angron turned to his brother and pointed with one bloody hand over the encircling wolf packs to where the legions still fought across the rest of the battlefield. "Your legion is bleeding." Russ didn't deny it, for it was true. Beyond the encircled Primarchs, the World Eaters were tearing through their cousins' grey regiments, fighting without sign of formation, just as they fought without any regard for their Primarch. Even in those early days, they were used to Angron fighting alone, and their fresh implants stole any hope of cohesive battle planning. Their stunted brains wouldn't let them bring order to the chaos. The few World Eaters in possession of their senses, Lork's towering iron form was one, Angron noted through narrowed eyes. They were throwing themselves at the wolves entrenched around the dueling Primarchs, but they lacked the numbers to break through Russ's defensive packs. "My men are dying," Russ admitted, "yet here we stand at the battle's heart, and only one legion is about to lose its Primarch. Do you see why I came? Do you see how you've broken your sons?" He threw an arm to take a wide pass of a battlefield. "The wolves are soldiers taking an objective. They fight to win, while your World Eaters only fight to kill." "Victory comes," Angron smiled, showing a crescent of bloody teeth, "to the last man standing." "That is true in the pits of the gladiators, but our Father desires soldiers and generals, not gladiators. Death is a necessity. It comes for our foes, and it comes to our own soldiers when we cannot spare them. You spend your legion's lives like a lord spends coin. It cannot continue." Angron had followed Russ's glance, but where the Wolf King gave the battle a mere glimmer of attention, Angron was paying full and amused attention. "War is only won when every enemy is dead. A pacified enemy is still an enemy." More gladiator wisdom, Angron. Look at my men surrounding you. Have you honestly learned nothing from this? Your men are losing, Lehman. He gritted at his brother. Let's take this to the last breath. Let the bloodshed play out with a dance of cutting blades. We'll see which legion still stands. Neither. But you will die the moment my men open fire. Death holds no sacred mystery to me, Russ. It holds no terror. He laughed then, through the nails of pain, laughing hard enough that his eyes watered. I may even welcome it. Are you empowered by our beloved father? Can you really give me death, dog? Or has your posturing already gone too far? He nodded over the battlefield again. And I say once more, your men are losing. Do you know why? Because you have something to live for. They care. Mine fight for pleasure, knowing any life outside of war is denied to them. Their own lives are as meaningless to themselves as they are to me, and that is the gift given to them by the butcher's nails. Warriors, not soldiers. Warriors with no fear of death and no caution to guard against it. They don't protect, they kill. They cast aside all thoughts of their own lives in the hunger to end others. Remember that, Russ. Remember it well. For several moments, Lorgar had to watch his brother's flawed face to make sure this wasn't just some elaborate jest. You didn't answer Russ's question, he said. Did you truly learn nothing from that fight? Angron blinked, and the dull edge of surprise coming into his eyes. What revelation should I have come to? No. Lorgar was almost breathless in disbelief. No, Angron, you stubborn fool. None of that matters. There were more dead wolves on that field than dead world eaters. That matters. His men, Angron, his legion could have killed you. Whether the Emperor ordered it or not, Russ spared your life. He didn't retreat in shame. You arrogant... Lorgar sighed. He was probably lamenting your thick skull all the way back to Terra, hoping you'd heed a rather consummate lesson in brotherhood and loyalty. Yet look what happened. Yes, you beat him in a duel. Yes, your men took down more than his. And yet, who won the battle? The World Eaters, Angron said without hesitation. Lorgar just stared at him for several seconds. I appreciate that every living thing must, by the nature of perception, understand and process life in a different way. But even for you, brother, this is acting obtuse. You're saying the wolves won? Angron looked more amused than confused. How can you not see it? Lorgar steepled his fingers, trying to rein in his own temper. They won a victory worthy of engraving on their armor for all time. While you were glorying in your strength, Russ's sons were loyal enough to come to him, to surround you both, to threaten your life while you stood at the vanguard of your own legion. That may be the most comprehensive moment of outmaneuvering in the history of the legions of Astartes. It's almost poetic in its elegance and emotional resonance. He proves his son's loyalty, while yours leave you to die. He proves the damage the nails are doing to your legion. He proves the tactical strength of taking an objective rather than fighting purely to kill. He spares your life in the hope you'll see all of this, a lesson that it cost him heavily to teach you. And your reaction is to grin and claim yourself the victor? Angron didn't chuckle. Lorgar could see it in his brother's tensed muscles. Some cognitive switch had clicked somewhere in his consciousness, and Angron's rage was rising again. Only one of us ran away that night. He's weak. God's blood. Lorgar was still managing, barely, to speak calmly. The Primarchs are the bridge between the Emperor and the species he leads. We are all weak, for we are all equal, all of us. We are humanity magnified, its virtues and its flaws. I am not weak, and I have never been weak. You are not only weak if you fail to understand Russ's lesson, you are also a fool. And with that being said, guys, that is the excerpt from the amazing novel Betrayer. This really goes to show you how Angron views himself on the battlefield, how he sees not only himself, but his men, his legion, as just a means to bring death and destruction to the enemy. Because his whole life, he was fighting for one person and one person only, himself. So with Angron's defeat, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Do you agree with Russ? Do you agree with Angron? Because at the end of the day, in this galaxy of hopelessness, there's only war. So do you need soldiers or do you need warriors? That is the real question here. So let me know down below, and that's all I got for today, guys. So as always, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more 40K videos coming your way. But if you guys do want to switch gears a little bit, I have a friend who just started his YouTube career and is out there making videos based on nature and living a van life. So here's a little bit of a clip for that. So again, if you guys are interested in that, the link will be down in the description. But again, thanks for watching, guys. And as always, it's been the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Oh, I used to put my sweet